Yeah, 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 yeah. Lil Brunson back at you with the back at you, and I am the best reporting on the Eagles. Listen, before we get into the meat and potatoes, I want to remind you all real quick that the Hurt Season hats are available. So this is what I'm going to do, man. If listen, man, if you message me anyway, anyhow, man, between now and between the end of draft weekend, I'm gonna be giving a little bit of the discount on the hats, man. So go ahead and grab your hat now while supplies last. Message me, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna put the link to the description, all of that. Listen, also Manscaped, man. Shout out to y'all that been using code Brunson to get your Manscaped products, man. Guys are giving me great reviews, man, because Manscaped is leading the way in technology that helps trim the man, and so he can stay a man. You know what I'm saying? Let me know what y'all think about that. But listen, man, it's something that's been bothering me, something that's really been boiling my blood with the meat and potatoes today, man. It's just, it's crazy, man. Look, what did Mac Jones do? Let's jump right into it. What did he do? What did Mac Jones do to deserve this treatment and this level of disrespect that I see him getting? I believe that Mac Jones is well deserving of the third overall pick. I do. I don't understand why other people don't think he's deserving of this pick. You know what I'm saying? I just don't get it. You're talking about a guy who's first in yards. You're talking about a guy who's second in touchdown passes. But people are saying that I must not watch college football. In what universe are those numbers not good? 4,500 passing yards, 40 plus touchdowns. In what universe are those numbers not good? I don't fault players for playing with good players. I fault players for not being able to execute with good players. He can execute with that. He's executed with that. Listen, wide receivers that win the Heisman can't do it without their quarterbacks. Period. And the way people are clamoring about Zach Wilson, who's only had one good season, but that's the biggest knock on Mac Jones, only one good season. Zach Wilson is destined, a surefire guy to be gone at number 2. Teams have tried to move up for Zach Wilson's good 1 year. They've tried to move up to get Zach Wilson. But it's a sin to think that Mac Jones is good. I think Mac Jones is a great quarterback. I think Mac Jones could possibly be the best quarterback in this draft. I do. And I know it gets confusing to other content creators when they hear stuff like that because those guys aren't creators. They're just not creators in my opinion. They're not creators. It's easy to get on a camera and say what everybody else is saying and repeat what the masses is saying. It's difficult to really stand on what you really believe on, though, in terms of this sports world, because it's so fickle. I think Mac Jones is one of them ones coming out of this draft. And it's not a slight to Justin Fields. I'm not saying that the 49ers should take Mac Jones over Justin Fields. I'm telling you that the 49ers can't go wrong with Mac Jones or Justin Fields. That's just how I feel. Mac Jones is a dog at the position. Now, Justin Fields, I don't think he dropped because people dislike him. I think he dropped because of the news that came out with the epilepsy thing that he deals with, the medical issue that can cause a neurological issue that could trigger seizures. That's a red flag for a lot of teams, period. A red flag for a lot of teams. In fact, I saw Mel Kiper's draft, his draft that, he was gone. He was the last person gone in the first round to Tampa Bay. You know what I mean? A guy that can sit behind Tom Brady, that's a jewel for them. If he slips down that far, that's a jewel for him. But you know what I'm saying? I just don't understand the hate. I just don't understand the hate for Mac Jones. Like, people are so upset that people got Mac Jones. Listen, I'm not mad at nobody that think Mac Jones is better than Justin Fields or Trevor Lawrence or Zach Wilson. If you want me to give you my 3 quarterbacks that I think that are coming out of this draft, I think it's Trevor Lawrence, Mac Jones, and Justin Fields. I think those are my top 3 quarterbacks in this draft. I'm not a believer of Zach Wilson, man. I'm sorry. I'm not ready to propose to him and make him the number 2 pick. I'm just not ready for it right now. And I don't understand why everybody is doing it. Listen, content creators. We're content creators. It don't mean we got to just make figments of imagination up. We damn sure don't got to repeat what everybody else is saying. That never been the wave. Never been the wave. You know what I'm saying? Nobody can get on the camera and tell me why Zach Wilson's 1 year was more impressive than Mac Jones's 1 good year in college. Somebody find that guy for me and have that guy break that down for me. And somebody find that guy for me. Somebody also find me the same. Listen. You can just look at the last video to find these people. Listen, there are people who believe that Zach Ertz is old, but not Travis Kelce. And here's the kicker. Travis Kelce is older than Zach Ertz. 31. But they're not saying he old, though. It only applies to Zach Ertz, though. On what universe does some of that stuff make sense? I'll never understand it. I'm not even trying to understand it anymore. I'm not trying to understand it anymore. Bottom line, Mac Jones is a guy who deserves he deserves to be taken third. The third quarterback off the board we talking about. He's done enough to be the third quarterback taken off the board. Period. You know what I'm saying? It's just like I just don't get it. I just don't get it. Some of these guys, man, quote unquote, watch college football all the time, right? They following all 1,000 of these teams. They know everything, right? They know everything, right? But they can't keep it real and say Mac Jones played well. They're blaming it on the wide receivers he had, the tight ends he had, the coach he had. They blame it on everything except the execution and him delivering on the football field. That's what it's about. So are we blaming Tom Brady's ring on the level of guys he had around him because he had savages around him that last year when he won the Super Bowl? Are we doing that now? Are we doing that now? Or are we praising dudes that have bad stats like we did Deshaun Watson last year and only won 4 good stats but only won 4 games? It don't make sense. So you don't want to praise the guy with good stats and was winning? I don't know, man. Make it make sense, man. But listen, man. Second half of the meat and potatoes, man. This is going to be the final mock draft. This mock draft that we did this time, man, is just going to depict, you know what I'm saying, an example of how the Philadelphia Eagles could push a trade through to get 2 first-round picks. You know what I'm saying? And get 2 immediate day 1 starters. You know what I'm saying? For the price of some of these, you know, lingering low-level picks that we have out here. The first trade package that I pushed through was accepted. I was able to trade with the Bills. I didn't even have to give them a first-round pick to get to 30. They just took our second-round pick, 37, and I think a third and a 2023 third. And they was able to, listen, that's good enough compensation for you to move up 7 spots and get back in the first round. So I think all along, I think the way that I drafted will prove that the Philadelphia Eagles, you know, one of their best moves could be, you know, leveraging that 37th pick to make something happen. But let me know what y'all think. Listen, I'm not saying we should draft these certain amount of players. I drafted sometimes best player available, and I drafted best player of need, especially I did that with 12. But you got to understand that when trades like that happen, which most likely are going to happen on Thursday, that's going to cause a ripple effect for guys to look at their draft boards a different way. The guys to look at their Big 50 boards a different way. Because one trade, like they're already talking about, this Carolina trade. You know, the Patriots potentially moving up. Patriots already in conversation. A move like that could cause a ripple effect. The Patriots are moving up for a quarterback. So you could be talking about 4 quarterbacks gone within the first 10 picks. Somebody going to slide down to 12. We're good. We just got to sit tight. Believe me when I tell you all we got to do is sit tight. If 4 quarterbacks gone before 12, come on, man. Come on. We done hit the lottery. And then you got to look at guys that are surely going to be gone, like Penny Sewell. You got to look at stuff like that. So I believe that, you know, there's going to be some trades and it's going to shift the landscape. And that's what happened just by my trade alone. And, you know, moving back into the first round with this PFF mock draft trade simulator. So let me know what you guys think about this, man. So literally, right off the cuff, I believe that, you know, trading that 37th pick to get back into the first round is needed. And a perfect example of this is what we get from the Bills and what we have to give up to do it. We ain't give up a first, so I'm pleased with that. I'll take it. You know what I'm saying? We took Patrick Surtain with the 12th pick, obviously. Look what we had to work with staying at 12. Guys like Patrick Surtain were still available. The Cowboys got their wish of getting Kyle Pitts. I think Trey Lance will be taken by a different team that's trading there. And yeah, that 30th pick right here, we had some things to work with. Elijah Moore. I didn't decide to go with nobody here, none of the top 3 guys that were still available. I decided to go with Kadarius Toney with that second pick. So right now we sitting at, you know what I'm saying, Patrick Surtain and Kadarius Toney. Listen, man, this is the overall breakdown. So PFF gave me a B, but I was able to get Patrick Surtain. They said the draft grade was a D. I disagree. Kadarius Toney, Jabril Cox, Jamar Johnson should be higher than a C, I believe, at that place. He was like the 20-something, 40-something best guy in the draft. Jamin Johnson. Stevenson, running back. Then everything after that is a filler pick because those picks just don't hold value, like I said earlier. Let me know what you think in the comments.